You talked a lot about how India could get involved in your future plans. Can you outline a little bit more of that?
Well, India, in our former government, India, we had the largest foreign investment coming from India. Unfortunately, with the change of government, there was a huge problem with that. What we would like to do is, India has got all the knowledge that is needed to develop our economy, and we want a robust engagement from the Indian private sector to develop our all sectors of our economy, including our expansion of our tourism industry, our infrastructure development, which India has all the knowledge necessary for that, all the skills and expertise. And also, one specific sector that I would be looking at is to create an IT industry in the Maldives, a knowledge-based economy, and that is something which I would be looking at Indian assistance from the Indian government plus the engagement of the private sector.
You talked about a trans-shipment port. Can you give us more details on that?
Well, we have always had the idea of having a trans-shipment port in the Maldives because of our strategic location. One angle that all the governments, since from President Mamoon to President Nasheed to President Yamin, has been to seek to develop a trans-shipment port in the Maldives. We currently have certain feasibilities done for that in the north of the country, and that will be one tool for our diversification of the economy, which we are looking at. So that is something where we are looking for the Indian investors to lead in building.
Are you looking at private players or the government helping you?
Both. We would like the government to encourage the Indian investors to come into the Maldives on these things, especially with the history that of the last 5 years. We intend to change that environment and create credibility with the Indian and foreign investors that we are very open for business, that we want to ease the flow of investment into the Maldives, and create a regime where it will be beneficial to both the investor and to the Maldives.
You were talking about modalities. How far has that progressed? If they are investors, what will their stake be? How much are you willing to give them a stake in the trans-shipment port? What are the modalities?
No, we have not reached those stages. It's in a very infant stage in the sense that we have come up with certain plans which we are in the process of reviewing, because the detailed plans were done during the last government's time. So we will be looking at this, we will be bringing in any amendments that we feel should come into that, and then we'll be engaging with the investors to see what kind of arrangement we can have. But we're definitely open to anything.
You were talking about the last government had already started the process of looking at feasibility. Were they approaching other countries? Were they approaching China? Was India involved at that stage?
I don't think they have had any constructive engagement with any foreign parties. Maybe they may have had preliminary discussions, but nothing concrete, definitely no.
Again, Minister, you talked about how you would like Indian players to be involved in the special economic zones. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Well, again, as I said, that we have a lot of industries that we would like to see developed. Other than tourism, which we are quite comfortable with, but we need expansion on that. And that is one area which we are looking at Indian funds to come in to invest in the Maldives to expand our tourist sector. Other than that, we are looking at developing nascent industries. Agriculture is one thing that we are looking to expand. And those are the things that we will look at even through the special economic zone, exclusive zone regime that we have. We are open again to any kind of possibilities.
Where will this SEZ be? I mean, what are the plans?
We have a law which allows SEZs to be set up anywhere in the country. So it depends on the specific project and where the investors want to locate it. So that is available, but we are also in the process of reviewing the entire special economic zone bill to bring it in more line with the current government's manifesto.
Again, there are lots of other areas that India can help in when you're talking about health, in education, in the medical sector. There was a MOU that was signed between a private hospital just yesterday in Kerala as well. When we spoke to President Nasheed, now climate change, he said that he would like any new projects to take into account the climate and take that forward, since he's also going to be representing the Maldives in COP24 in Poland?
Well, definitely, President Solih is carrying forward the legacy of President Nasheed in terms of the protection of the environment and climate change issue. And in fact, President Solih has reiterated that in his development agenda he will have the environment concerns at the very top. That is why he is revamping the Environment Ministry. He is creating an independent body for the EPA, which is the regulatory body, which has now been actually mixed up. So yes, definitely, our development will go hand in hand with the protection of the environment, because we are the country which will have the greatest impact for the worse or for the better, depending on the situation of the climate change.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.